Sabina, first of all, I want to ask you, you're from Kiev. I hope your family's been safe. How does you balance kind of the worries at home with playing, and kind of how much have the courage that Ukrainian people have shown the past year, does that inspire you at all?
Well, Ukrainians have a very long history of fighting for their freedom and their values. And I think that's one of the things that keeps me going and keeps me motivating. And there's always something more to fight for other than just winning a tennis match. So thank you for asking. My family's actually under attacks right now. So thank you for asking. Yeah, it's okay.
I'll ask you another one.
Go ahead.
Okay, you play doubles and singles, if I understand.
I did.
Have you grown up playing doubles and singles, or have you had to adapt more to one than the other?
Well, I played both, and I feel like I was better at doubles maybe when I was like 12 than at singles, but then it kind of shifted and it just keeps shifting. And I guess here at Texas, I just learned how to be decent at both.
Yeah.
So I don't have any issues playing both.
What's the key to working well with a doubles partner? And what makes your partner, like, why do you guys click so much?
I think it's just understanding that your partner got your back, basically. Like, no matter what's going on court, like, you can always rely on that person, even if something doesn't go well. You have each other's backs, and it's just understanding that you both worked hard for it, and in the moments when it means a lot and when there's a lot to worry about, that it will be okay because you worked for it.
Yeah.
How would you say that you and your team feels, going into the NCAAs? How do you guys feel about the way you're all playing right now?
Yeah, that's actually exciting. I think one thing that we got better at is just being a team. Before that, I think we had a lot of struggles of like figuring out how to work with each other, and it keeps getting better, and I'm excited to see how it turns out for us.
So this is like the real season for tennis for you guys now, going over the great beat now. How long do you guys bring that up, or do you even bring that up?
We don't talk about it, to be honest, because a lot of people on the team are new, so it doesn't really apply to them. They never experienced this before, but some of the people on the team have something to lose, but they don't really focus on it too much because every year is different, every team is different, and we just keep growing, keep working together, and we just have to keep trusting each other.
Is this the fun part of the season for you guys, once you get into the NCAA?
Yeah, especially now there's no school. We have more time to actually hang out together and just talk about tennis more and do what we love the most.
What are the benefits of having the first couple rounds here?
I'd say crowd, but I know it's graduation on Saturday when we are supposed to play second round. But I think the home courts are always nicer. You always know what to expect. Maybe like some weird spots on court, which we don't really have, but it's one of the things. And also like support from the men's team and just our like people outside of athletics that help us, our like performance coaches, they always come out and support us, which is very nice.
And speaking of the men's team, do y'all kind of push each other a little bit? Like, okay.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think just the success of the men's team this season, it just brings us to the point where it didn't go well for them in the beginning of the season, but they managed to somehow figure it out, and it's just so inspirational because it doesn't really matter what's going on right now. You can always make little adjustments and make the season go well. So I think they're really big inspiration for us, and I think there's some kind of, I don't think there's a competition between us. I think there's just like very like the atmosphere here is just so nice and so good for improving, and I think that's what we bring to each other.
Coach, we just talked with Sabina, and you know, she's going through a lot with her family back in Ukraine. I mean, she said her family's under attack right now. What is it about her personality that it just seems like she just keeps going and winning and it just...
It's a good question. I'm 51 years old, and when I have any amount of distress, it's very hard for me to stay on point, my job, family, and so your question hints at just how resourced Sabina is as a human being. She has this big ball of distress, which sort of like Groundhog Day doesn't go away. She wakes up to it every day. It's just the veracity, when the attacks are stronger and there's worse news, and just the idea that she's able to have that distress, put it in a healthy sort of a container, so to speak, put it to the side, and then show up as a tennis champion, and then also as a great student, by the way, as a stellar academic student, is really remarkable. She's tough, that's for sure.
It's got to inspire some of the other girls, right?
I hope so. You'd like to think so, yeah. It really is. I mean, you know, all of us have our beefs and gripes, and you can go to Twitter and collect them very easily. But the stuff we gripe about in our day-to-day really seems insignificant in the grand scheme of things relative to the stuff that Sabina is, you know, having to have our eyes wide open to day in and day out.
Coach, you're heading into the NCAAs again, you know, rehearsal kind of season's over. This is for real now, you know, what would it mean for you guys to repeat, even though you guys probably don't look at it that way, but just what would it mean for you guys?
I mean, of course, it would be a monumental feat. I don't know if it's been done or when it's been done. I know I read an article in January that the two-peat, or the repeat rather, you know, hadn't been done for about 25 years. And so, as your question would suggest, the focus just isn't there. Each year is a different puzzle with different characters and different set of wins and losses, and so now I think it's just more about looking at how the players are able to bring their best energy and show up in the way that they feel like they need to for the games.
What would it mean for you guys to get back there again, you know, with a different team now? What would it say about this program and where it's at?
You know, it's remarkable. I mean, the idea that after we won it 2 years ago, I think we turned over 3 or 4 of the starters on out of 8. So that's half the thing. Last year, we won it again with 4 new faces, and then this year we turned over again 4, and so. It's really, all it says is that I am aging very, very fast, much faster than my neurological system would like to. But our kids this year have done very well. It's been a hard year for them, lots and lots of disappointments along the way. And yet, right near the end here, they've shown up in the conference tournament and the latter part of the conference in a way that has us poised at least to mount some kind of a title defense this year.
How much does it help for you to have the vets that you do have, you know, to lean on them and have them, you know, get on the ability?
There's no question. I mean, having people that have done it and been there. Sabina is one. She was there on last year's team, but we do have Malika and Charlotte that have done it, you know, 2 years in a row, and the transfer Taya from Pepperdine actually played the final match against Lulu 2 years ago, so she's, you know, played in the NCAA tournament right till the end. So we've got some experienced people. We've also got some young people, and hopefully, like I said, they all show up in the way that gives them the best chance.
And how nice is it for especially the young ones to start here at home for the first 2 rounds, if possible?
There's no question that just like anything, right? Whether you're a basketball or football person, home court advantage, right? You get to sleep in your own bed, eat where you like to eat, and hopefully have a shamelessly Longhorn crowd supporting you. So definitely takes out for a coach that obviously is looking for areas. One element that is a pitfall. It's definitely a plus for us.
You talked about the last couple of weeks showing that what the team can accomplish. So what have you seen from the growth these last couple of weeks?
Like I said, we turned over 4 of the 8 people from last year's championship team. And so what was really peculiar, the function of the fall semester here is typically in college tennis, to figure out that song, Getting to Know You, right? Figure out who is who, where they fit, strengths, weaknesses, and so on. And unfortunately, this fall, we had some really significant injuries which took at least 4 of the 8 out of play for either all of the fall or part of the fall. And so that sort of a learning period was just not there. And so I think through January and February and into March, it took a while for people, new faces, to figure out what not to do, to fail a little bit, to figure out what to do, what's being asked, and as the hackneyed cliche goes, get everyone on the same page. I do feel like I said, we're definitely a group that's getting there.